Hey everyone, how's it going? Elliot here. Today we're going to be rebuilding my studio. Once in a while I take everything out, hoover everything and then put it all back in. Makes me feel like everything's more clean and organised. So yeah, let's do that. So I guess what we'll do is start off with the set itself. So the first thing is this circular table. That is a absolute must-have for the retro future because everybody's tables in videos are square, so I thought I'll have a circle one. The chair's pretty uncomfortable, but it does the job. Alright, we have our table and chair. The next thing we need is the overhead camera. Let's go get that. Crikey! Essentially, for the overhead camera, I have this big, heavy-duty sort of C-stand, I think it's called. There's a sandbag weighing it down there. Then it goes all the way up, little sex wax there just to make the whole place smell very nice. And then it's got this overhead arm with my camera attached to a ball head so I can swivel it and make sure it's all in the right place. And then I've got this little battery plate, and there's a dummy battery that goes into the camera and then a cable which connects the light. And then I just take some of these massive heavy duty batteries. This is like 8,800 milliamp hour battery, so it lasts absolutely ages. Whack it on there, and then we have our light and power to the camera. Ta-da! Now the benefit of all of that is I've got the exact same thing on my front facing camera, so all I have to do is just charge 2 batteries and then the whole setup is powered. Speaking of front facing camera, here it is. So this camera looks pretty special. It's not really, but let me show you around it. So essentially the heart of the camera is a Sony A7 III. It's in a small rig cage because that just allows you to mount multiple things on there. I've got a little handle here for when I do handheld stuff. That's not really for the retro future stuff. It's when I go out and do shoots for companies and friends and stuff like that. I've got a monitor on the top because even if this tiny little screen did swivel up, which it doesn't, I'm sat back here, so it's quite nice to have something that I can you know, see myself in, although I have to remember to look at the actual camera lens itself, otherwise my eyes are looking elsewhere. So this lens is a 35mm 1.4 lens, and the whole point of this camera really is to have a bit more of an artsy shot. The Canon isn't really capable of doing, well it is I guess if you have like color grading and all the rest of it, but I don't, I just edit on iMovie. So this just has a really nice sort of cinematic image straight out of it. So yeah, heavy duty tripod because it's holding quite a weighty camera, and then there's that same battery mount that I was talking about on the back, so everything is powered off that, the monitor and the camera. So it's a really nice way of powering your entire studio. So next up we have my fill light. So this thing is called Fill. Nah, I'm joking. So essentially what this light does is it's not meant to give any sort of like added benefit to the video other than aesthetics. So it's an orange light, so when I turn it on, half of my face is sort of orange. Yeah, you might not notice it, but without it, it looks pretty dead. And then my main light is this big studio light. It's just a big camera light. I think they use it for photography as well, but I obviously use it for video. It's a pretty decent little thing. It's quite cheap, but I don't really need to touch it. Littered around the studio is acoustic paneling. In my corner there, one here, and then obviously one on that wall. The benefit of this one not being screwed down is when I do voiceovers, I just move my chair over to this corner and then put another one here and then the microphone in the middle. But let's talk about my microphone. So here we go, here is my audio setup. So I have right here a Zoom H4n handy recorder. Now this does have a built-in microphone, which is very good, but I'm just using the internal preamp because it's better than the one inside my camera. What I used to have is a microphone on a tripod, sorry, on a mic arm like this, and a big long cable trailing across the floor into the camera. Now, forgetting the fact that that's an obvious safety hazard, the microphone preamp inside of the camera is nowhere near as good as this little bad boy. So I've got an XLR cable coming out of that. This just goes into a a regular SD card. So it's quite a nice little thing, to be honest with you. And as I said, you know, you can take this out on the field if you want and record stuff. and it's just on a regular microphone arm. Small XLR lead, just to make sure it's all nice and tidy and neat. And then here is the microphone. Now this is a Sennheiser MKE 600, and it's a really decent microphone. I'm obsessed with audio, so I really want to make sure that my audio sounds good, because it doesn't matter about camera quality, it's just audio. You want audio to not be something that someone thinks about. As for everything else, you've seen this. A few things have changed. I've just made the display a little bit different. I've mostly just got my clones and knockoffs and wannabes and all the rest of it. I've put my little metal letter up on the wall over here. I've got my Astro Boy Tezuka Productions Game Boy Color in a little shadow box up there, and that's more or less it. This isn't really anything to write home about. The computer's not excellent. I'm just using these recommended to me by a friend, Sennheiser HD 280 Pro headphones. They're really decent. Amazing sound reproduction and stuff like that. I've got a little Durgod keyboard, Logitech MX mouse that I've had for as long as I can remember. A Blue Yeti microphone that swings out for podcasts and all that jazz. Yeah, I mean, that's really it, to be honest with you. Nothing else too special going on here. This is just like crap stuff that I need to do videos on, camera equipment, and then more crap. And then I've got my Lines of Thought artwork piece and my little on-air sign, which my friend Tim and I had made wireless, because before it had a big wire trailing down, and now it's just got a little battery pack similar to the one plugged into my camera, which plugs straight into it, and then I just charge that, and it lasts about a month. So yeah, rather decent. Hope you guys have all enjoyed this little video. The camera that I'm filming on is a Canon G7X. So here's the little camera I'm filming on. It's a Canon G7X Mark II in a small rig cage. There'll be a separate video on why it's in a small rig cage later on. I've got this little tripod that I've had, again, for so long, because it's such a beautiful, high quality tripod. This screw, and then it goes up even more, and it obviously goes into a little handle, so you can hold it here and vlog and whatnot. Got a little wind muff on the top here. That's about it, really. So I hope you've all enjoyed this little video, a little behind the scenes into the retro future. That camera is a Canon 80D, forgot to mention that. There won't be links to anything in the description, because just can't be asked, and also you guys probably don't really care that much. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video regardless, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.